She will play it because she's a crazy reviewer gamer. Hopefully this song is shorter for you guys because she thinks the last one was too long, but she still is a crazy cat lady, you gamer. Hopefully this is the last one because like before, I don't like singing these songs.
Crazy Cat Lady Gamer Reviewer or Martha Butler does not own any trailers or pictures. I use them under fair use for educational and entertainment purposes. So guys, for people, Martha here, we're going to do Zombieland, the movie, since recently we watched the trailer for the second one. And guess what, guys? It's been 10 years since the first movie came out. What? What? I can't believe it's already been 10 years. That means that little girl in the new trailer in this movie, the one that was 12 in there, she's 12. She's 22. Wow. So let's get on to the movie. Basically, a zombie virus broke out. We don't know how it broke out. It just broke out. We don't know how it broke out in a lot of things. Like, they don't. Sometimes they tell us, sometimes they don't. But in this movie, they definitely do not tell us how it happened. They just say it as most. This movie is a comedy, so don't compare it to anything that's a horror that also has zombies in it. But because they treat everything in this movie like a joke, they waste their bullets. Okay, if you're like, the closest thing I ever played with zombies was The Last of Us, and those weren't really zombies because those are ones you can count as an infected, because it's different because since they're based off of a virus that has to do with ants. But anyway, that's the closest thing I ever played. I never really played. I played a little bit of Resident Evil, but not enough for me to say, because I only played like the first part of it. So maybe I'll get it later on and play it for you guys, the second one. So anyway, when it starts out, Columbus, who's played by Jesse Eisenberg, is explaining like all the rules and how to survive, and how a lot of people haven't survived. How a lot of people lost their ways and died. Like, rule one, cardio, and a lot like if you're not in good shape, you would not be able to survive. So, and don't go into bathrooms. Double tap, which means hit in the head. Make sure you hit in the head. It doesn't have to be with a gun, because a lot of people in this movie don't just use a gun to double tap. And like him later on, he uses a toilet lid to do double tap. So if I wanted to, because I don't know how to use a gun, and I don't want to, I can use this. I can use this as a double tap. I can hit them in the stomach first, then I hit them in the head. Keep on hitting them. Keep on hitting them. I could probably kill a zombie with my keyblade if I wanted to. This would probably hurt you get hit in the head with it. Never tried anybody in the head with it before, so wouldn't know. The only thing I ever used it for was trying to shoo a raven away, and I didn't even hurt. Like, this went shoot. Now Sully's watching the chain move, and he wants to play with it. Anyway, We see him. It's not a toy. It looks like a toy. And he's like he's at a gas station trying to go to the bathroom, but he has to get away. 2 zombies are chasing him. He's trying to get inside. Apparently the door is already unlocked, so he doesn't have to worry about unlocking the door. So he gets it and runs off, and one was in the back seat, so that's a new rule. Check the back seats. Yep, these zombies are smart. You always forget that zombies can be smart. Like, they eat brains! So that means they have to be smart to eat brains! Right? Maybe they get them the smartness of the brains. Yes! And he, like, walks off and sees, this is when he, like, bumps into Tallahassee, who's played by Woody Harrelson. Like, I always have a hard time saying his name, so that's why I just say Tallahassee in the trailers. His last name is hard to say. So, and he's my favorite character in this movie. Even though, because he uses more, I think he's the one that uses more than just, guns. Because he brings a bat, he brings a banjo, he brings clippers. He brings he went into his garage and like grabbed every single tool. Like, then I'm gonna. I mean, if any that I've not been to any of the cities that they name, but if any of them I want to be to is his, because because he's my favorite character in this movie. And they both point their guns at each other. And he asks, he says, and Columbus puts his hand up and he says, "You're good." And he goes and they go inside and goes inside his car. And they're driving off, and then they eventually they go to a shop. They see a truck of that has Twinkies and snowballs in it. That could have Twinkies and snowballs in it, but instead it doesn't only have snowballs in it. Like, he says he hates coconuts. I hate coconuts too. I hate coconuts too. If I was him, I'd probably be looking for one last taste of something. His is Twinkies, but I would be so probably looking for a whole bunch of last taste things, not this Twinkies. Like, but I understand his dilemma. He just wants to taste one last Twinkie, and people think Twinkies last forever. Like, they think if anything would survive a apocalypse, it would be Twinkie, but he says they have faction dates. Of course, everything runs. Every single food ends up eventually goes raw, even Twinkies. Yeah. So, and I remember when the Twinkies had to sell their recipes when they went out of business. He was so sad about it. So, I mean, they still exist. They're just owned by a different company now. So they keep on continuing looking for Twinkies. Columbus wants to go to Texas, and because he heard there's no zombies in Texas, I hate to break it to you, there's zombies in Texas. Probably. I mean, there's probably zombies in Arizona. There's probably girls out there like me called Arizona. So, in this movie, they don't do names except for the name of the town they came from. And I think the oldies are probably the capitals, because the ones they bump into inside the shop is we got Wichita and Little Rock. And last time I checked, Little Rock is the capital of Arkansas. So yeah. So Little Rock is pretending to be bitten by a zombie, and Wichita gets the gun. So Wichita is played by Emma Stone. I'm not sure. I'm trying to remember who the little girl's name is. I think it's like Isabel something. So I remember seeing her from some movie, but I don't know what movie it was on top of my head. But they continue. They both get robbed and have their guns stolen, and they also take their car. So Tallahassee keeps them walking around looking for, and all their guns are gone. So he brings his bag, and Columbus brings his bag, and they find a Jeep, a yellow Jeep. Like, yay, a Jeep, yay! So they drive that on until they see Tallahassee's old car. I'm not very wise with cars, so I don't know what type of car Tallahassee's old car was. So I just know it was black. So, and he goes up to it and notices that they're not in the car. So, and then he tells Columbus to drive up, and the girl Little Rock was in the back seat, and she's pointing a gun at him, like, you were outsmarted by a 12-year-old. Like, well, the 12-year-old is a gun in her hand, so of course he's outsmarted with a 12-year-old. And he tells them to honk, and her sister Wichita comes out, and they end up going on to they keep on going to where they want to go, and they eventually into Hollywood. So if they're in California, that means that zombies have reached Arizona, because if they're in California, because where they end up reaching is they go to Hollywood and they go inside. They end up trying to figure out which house to stay into, and on the way there, we find out Little Rock doesn't know who Willie Nelson is. I met people who doesn't know who Willie Nelson is. So it is not surprising to me in the least. And she explains to him about Hannah Montana. Should we explain to her that Hannah Montana is because Miley Cyrus no longer does her? Hannah Montana's basically dead. Yeah, that character's basically dead now. After 10 years, so when they get to Hollywood, Tallahassee says, "Let's stay at the best house," and it says MC and. It says Bill. This is BM. I don't know why I said MC. and he says does not stand for Bob Marley, and it ends up being this is Bill Murray's house. And she says, "Who's Bill Murray?" It's like saying you don't know who Gandhi is. Who's Gandhi? And her sister says, "She's 12." So we hear about two backstories about what happened, like how Columbus ends up being. He ends up hearing three backstories actually. Columbus, what Columbus was doing before the zombie thing, and what happened, like how he got involved. How he had to kill a girl who he let into his apartment by using a toilet seat, and poor Tallahassee had a puppy who ends up actually being his son. He didn't want to admit that it was his son, but Buck. And I guess a bunch of zombies killed him. But unlike something like The Walking Dead, they did not show the little kid dying. Yeah, this movie's a comedy. They would not do that. Walking Dead, they would. That's the difference. So, and they showed like even before the even before the plague happened, the breakout. Wichita and Little Rock were still stealing stuff from people because they showed her robbing a gas station, and her sister is still with her. So, and when they're both Murray's house, Columbus and Little Rock are watching Ghostbusters. And Bill Murray comes out and but he's dressed as a zombie, so he scares Tallahassee and Wichita. Wichita grabs a golf plug and hits him with it, and but he says, I'm just dressed a minute too, like so I can go and goof around outside, get food and stuff like that. And he said he saw Van Halen. He says Van Halen's a zombie, like, not Van Halen! No! Not Eddie Van Halen, no! We already saw a Charlie Chaplin, but come on, that was not the real Charlie Chaplin, because Charlie Chaplin is nothing but bones and dirt now. I mean, if we like saw his zombie, it would be horrifying. But since how long he's been dead, I know one person that won't be a zombie if we ever saw him here. Yep. I bet you guys think I'm saying Walt Disney, because nope, he's not. He's not just a head. They cremated him, so you can't actually make a zombie out of cremation. So, haha. I never seen them do it, so anyway, they do a ghost scene, and Wichita plays does the accent of their second. They try to talk with like their secretary in Ghostbusters, and they do I like what Tallahassee says to him. It's Bill fucking Murray. And they both act like Ghostbusters, and Tallahassee actually gets to use a Ghostbusters gun, but Bill Murray has to use a vacuum, and he says, "Don't cross the streets! Don't cross the streets!" Yep, yay! This is as far as we know, this is his last time doing a Ghostbusters, playing a Ghostbuster. But I know this is him technically playing as himself, but he gets to do it again because as far as I know, I'm not seeing the remake of Ghostbusters, and I'm not going to unless you guys. That one you guys will have to pay me to see. You have to pay me to see it. But my little brother told me that they don't do it again because he's seen it. So they tell him to go and scare Columbus and Little Rock, which is a bad idea. Because when Bill Murray goes out there with his zombie wig, he's being shot. And Little Rock says, "Have any regrets?" Garfield, maybe. Maybe. Don't you mean differently? Sorry if you guys hear that. I think that's the sprinklers or something. I don't know if you guys can hear or not. But they stay there for a little while. Hey! That's my cat that's knocked over my sunglasses. They're fine. They bury Well, they don't bury him, but they like wrap him up and shoot off their guns to him in honor of him, and in honor of Bill Murray. And they so I don't know. They don't show us this dispose of the body, but yeah. So they can stay their night there at Wichita, and Columbus almost kiss. But the next morning they end up leaving and taking their Jeep, and they end up going to a theme park that's in California. It's not Disneyland. I would go there, but it's a different theme park. Because it's like a carnival one. They go in there and they have that kind of fun. And they zombies turn on all the rides and stuff like that, and that attracts the zombies to them. Columbus says, "I'm going after them," but Tallahassee says, "I'm going to Mexico." But he ends up going. He gets on a motorcycle. He cannot drive it at all, and Tallahassee takes him to where goes after them, and they find out the zombies are after them, the girls, and they get on top of one of those rides that goes up and down, and Little Rock has to use her gun to break the controls, so they start going up and down. But remember, these zombies are smart, so they start climbing up the ride because there's a ladder in case you get stuck. But and Columbus says he has to break his one rule, Rule 17, don't be a hero. Be a hero. Like, yay, be a hero! And Tallahassee ends up trying to be the distraction and keep the zombies away, but a few of them stay because one gets up to them where the girls are at, and they have to try and knocking them down. This movie's weird. They don't none of the main characters die, so we do see characters die in it, but we see non-main characters and Bill Murray died. That's it. None of the main characters, but hopefully none of them die in the second one because I love all four of them. So anyway, Columbus faces his biggest fear, a zombie clown. So he ends up killing that zombie clown and saves Wichita and Little Rock, and that's the next day they end up being a big family, and they continue They continue winning the war for 10 more years. Yeah. So what do I think? I love this movie so much, guys. Yay! So I don't see any flaws in it. So I bet the next one will be rated R, so I'll have to go into the expensive theater to see this one. Both in October. Why? So I get this movie a 10 out of 10. Colin Mulroney was trying to go under the bed, so
I give it up for pause. Mateo, I'm not coming as Zombie Kitty. You hear me? If those zombies want to eat me, I'll scratch their eyes out. Keep on scratching until they die.
I know, Sully, you would. You would go down fighting.
Yes, I would. I would go down fighting. You hear
me? So, bye-bye, guys. Like, favorite, and subscribe.
And bye-bye.
zombies with every last strike.